Yes.
No, we don't think all had it.
I think it was.
Yeah, but-
Because what I do.
It's not late. It's really not late.
I know. You do. I'm on 3 builders.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want, kind of
Yeah,
have,
but builders.
yeah, I've got Kate. Amazing.
Okay, good. I like those.
Yeah, and,
Gary V. Shaggy.
That, I would have, my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping that a few others that
I'll
might
give you the information.
Showing up.
What day?
Like, I have-
You can run the show.
I have my takeaways.
At 1:00.
It's good to hear from everyone else too.
I've got places that's really cool. Doesn't it look like, it? You'll love it. It is so cool. And they'll come in and talk to you, you know, to us.
Thank you for sharing. I love that.
Yeah, thank you. Where is it next year, Andrew?
It'll be in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's not many places that can hold everybody. That's the problem. It used to be like in different places, but they can go back to those places.
Does Houston do them?
I'm never gonna use, I don't feel like.
I don't
it's-
think
it's
Dallas,
like-
I think it's gonna be in Austin. I think it's gonna be close to headquarters. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Have you been to
says,
Houston?
yeah,
Oh, I don't know.
Austin,
Maybe
it said.
it's still in Austin.
That's what he just said.
Austin, oh, Austin is.
Yeah, it'll be in Austin. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
Austin's good. Yeah, I would go to that. I think that's what I want to make.
It's like Houston.
I hope more of that plant show up.
I know you.
All yours.
So I wanted to make sure that I'm hoping a few others that went. Hi, Joe.
Okay.
Joe's there, so we could share like our takeaways, and this is a 10-5-1-1. I don't know if you've done one before.
No.
So 10 takeaways. 5 items you want to implement. 1 item on the list that will make the biggest impact in your business. And then finally, 1 thing you could do in the next 24 hours.
This is from what you're telling us.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Let's say, because when I walk out the door, it seems like I need my brain in the room.
Okay, what did you say?
It was 10 takeaways
And
and then, 5 implements. Yeah, 1 is the biggest impact.
Hi, Jill.
Hey, how are you?
And Lori.
But you're gonna do the next one.
Oh, you didn't like to get coffee.
Okay.
Are you running this?
Looks like it.
Look at you.
Oh.
I'm just here to help everyone brainstorm.
Ready.
Yay. That's gonna be challenged.
Go.
Who brought the brain? Because I brought the storm.
I love it. That's what we need.
Really have.
Joe.
Yeah. Tequila's not in it right now.
Welcome. Okay. So was anyone at family reunion that's in the room besides Joe and I? Okay, so. It was a great time, right, Joe?
Yes, it was.
I think a lot of people are taking it down chat.
Oh, wow,
Oh, these
okay.
are the, no, these are the otter.
AI assistant?
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, would you type in there and just let them know if they need a copy of the 10-5-1-1, I could send it to them? Okay. We'll send it to them. So of course, a lot of. I do, yeah. I need your phone, I can text.
Oh, that's okay. I was just gonna scan it
Okay,
in.
yeah,
but,
that'll be- So Nicole reached out yesterday and asked me to kind of, put this on. So, it's my second time at family reunion and it was amazing. Hi, Mary. Hey, Ben, Bill, sorry.
Mr. Mocker.
This is our 10511. You can use that if you'd like, so that way you can walk away with, implementable steps. And so it was a great time. A lot of agents. We had a strong group of agents there from our office. So of course, there's a lot of takeaways from all the breakout sessions. We had our good Gary V. We had Jay Shetty, of course. So a lot of great takeaways from that. For me, of course, takeaways for my business is super important, is why I go. And as long as you get a takeaway. But the most important thing for me, and I found, is that you also nurture agent to agent relationships, right? And you get referrals. So I would recommend anyone that's been thinking about it, definitely put it into your business plan and block the time off to make it there. Once I realized that last year when I went for the first time, and I realized, wow, I can get business from coming. That's like my focus. So I focus on the breakouts and of course, meeting up with the brokerage and being with the agents that I see every day. But more importantly is, to reach out and make new connections. So I actually walked away from family reunion with 3 referral opportunities. And right there, it just makes me like, no, I'm in the right place when I'm there, right? So this when I go, I do like to stay a day late. And I do go through all my notes and I come up with, a plan of what I'm going to implement into my business. So I have my takeaways that I'll share with everyone. Okay. I was hoping. And then if we have anyone on the Zoom that was at family reunion, feel free to chime in. I want to hear everyone's takeaways. But I'll definitely, and Joe's here, so, we can share them together. Joe, was there anything that was a big takeaway for your business? Because I know you've been doing this for quite some time. So if you have an aha, I think everyone needs to hear it.
I think that the aha I got was the same aha we've been getting for the last 6 to 9 months. That AI is a tool you must embrace to help make your business better. It won't replace you, but agents who use AI will replace the agents who don't. And then how to leverage yourself and leverage AI or leverage others on social media. And I always struggle with that. Because I want to focus on 80% of the people that I get most of my business from, not the 20% who don't know me.
Yes.
But then again, if I turn that around, the 80% that know me will see me on social media and it's another touch. So I want to use it wisely and give data. I just think when we go out there and puke, I made the $25 million club, et cetera, et cetera. Your doctor doesn't do that. Your attorney doesn't do that. Your accountant do that. I think that cheapens our industry. So I stay away from that. I'll say I've sold something that's data for people, but so that kind of drilled. I think half the sessions were AI social media.
There are a lot of AI sessions. A lot of
Really, really good. It's just taking this one one bite at a time.
Mhm.
It reminds me in the early nineties when Office finally got a computer. I don't, oh no, I don't wanna do that, and those who bought that got buried by the ones who did that, and now we probably all have to agree with you. Including this.
Yeah, including one or two in our pockets.
This is like AI, is like the computer technology, internet, the early nineties.
Mhm.
And you just gotta embrace it, you gotta learn it.
And use it to your
use it,
advantage.
Use it to your advantage.
So we mentioned social media, right? With AI
Mhm.
and the one huge takeaway for me in terms of AI was, how I can use it to buy back my time. That was another big sticking point with the AI. So, and it takes time. I went to Lauren Lucas's mastermind. I think it was at the end of October.
Mhm.
And since then, I've spent an hour a day implementing AI. Thank you, Mary. And basically that takes time to, analyze your business from above. Like, think about what are you doing more than 3 times, right? If you're spending time on something more than 3 times, there's a way to implement AI to move that off of your plate. So I've spent the last 3 months, I had 18 workflows. So when you have a workflow, it's basically a task that you're setting up the AI to take over for you. So I have 18 when I spent maybe 3 hours back in October analyzing my business and my process. And I have 18 workflows to implement and I'm on 13. So I'm nearing the end, but it's not something that you can just sign up for and it's not set it and forget it. Once you get it built, you can set it and forget it, but you want to customize it to your business. So anyone in this room, if you're thinking like, you don't know how to implement the AI, like think about literally anything that's taking up your time, you can come up with a workflow and make it happen.
So thanks for sharing that. And out of curiosity, 'cause I feel like I'm increasingly using AI all the time. But can you explain more like what that means, like creating a workflow and how that's working in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So I spend a lot of time, as most of us do, on lead gen, right? We're lead generating. I have taken my, morning, I have like 10 steps that I do every day, right? So, and that includes making contacts. I noticed a lot of that was contacts, reaching out, whether, there's various methods of reaching out to people. So keeping track of who's interacting with my engagement, right? That was another big time consuming point. Like I'm checking who's opening this message, what is the open rate? What's the click-through rate, right? So I am building where I can take an Excel sheet of people that I want to touch and contact, and I can upload it right into the workflow, and it knows what to do. So I can set it up to where if they've opened that email, let's say use email, they've opened the email 3 times, it'll actually score it every time they open it. And once it hits whatever you want to make it. So for me, if they open it more than 3 to 7 times, I know that I'm getting an appointment. Like it's a good chance that they're going to book an appointment to talk to me. Now, if you have someone opening it 18 times, you better call them, right? Because they're really, really interested. So my workflow is, I notice I'm spending 3 hours every day, 5 hours every day on just keeping up with who's looking at my materials and who's interested. And I'm building an AI workflow so that I don't have to do that anymore. All I have to do is upload the contacts and AI will know what I want it to do.
What platform are you using to have AI send it out and to follow up?
So make.com
Okay,
is great.
yeah,
Make, M-A-K-E. And hold on, Sarah has a question.
you want to read this question?
Oh yeah, this may not be a question that we can answer, but did they talk about the environmental effects that AI is having and how we can be more environmentally friendly with AI? I personally don't want to increase a carbon footprint. Just curious if this came up in conversation at all with Gary or anyone. Great point. I personally didn't hear anything about the environment. Gary was very, like, he was hardcore about whatever we're doing on social media, we better 100x it. We better times it by 100 because in his opinion, right now we all have an advantage where social media is free. And he's seeing in the next 5 years, that's going to change. So we're all missing out on a big opportunity where people are paying for billboards, for print, direct mail, anything you could think of. And we have free marketing on our social media platform. So Gary he mentioned 8 different businesses that he markets for. And in one day, he's posting 350 pieces of content. So you don't have to go that extreme. He has 8 businesses, right? But if you break it down, let's just say 10%, 30, but you have, he said we need to be on 7 to 8 to 9 platforms. So if you think about it, if you have 9, 10 platforms and you have 1/10 of his business capacity, right? You're going to post on every platform at least once a day. So he's saying take advantage of that free marketing before they start making us pay for it, because he sees that happening in the next 5 to 10 years. But on the environment, we didn't hit on that. But like personally for myself, I don't like to, I'm conscientious of it too, Sarah. So I appreciate you bringing it up. Like every time we send something through AI, there's electricity that needs to be generated. So I try to be conscientious of it, and I don't just use it for everything. Like now my sister, on the other hand, she's in that ChatGPT all day, every day, asking it which thing you could think of. I keep it really to my business questions. And the other thing with AI, if you're building your workflows, this was a huge aha for me. I don't know, I'm just starting out. Like, I don't know what to do. But if you tell AI what you want to do, guess what? It knows what to do. And it'll send you a step-by-step. I'm like, wow, this is really helpful. I asked it, I want to do this, this, and this. It gave me my 18 workflows. So then it's all about going step by step. And, but there's plenty of times when you're building your AI workflows and it doesn't work. And then you're sitting there like,
All the time.
similar to our industry, we're used to that. We do the work. It might not work out right away. We have to come up with a way around it. Like we have to keep at it. So it's just about taking the time. That's why I say 1 hour a day. If that's too much, just do 2 hours a week. And you'll see like big improvements with it. So like I said, I'm 80% of the way done with my phase 1 of my workflows that I want to have implemented. So I could buy back 3 hours a day. You don't work 5 days a week, that's 15 hours. Like, what are we doing? We're spending time with our family, enjoying ourselves, refreshing, getting ready, setting more appointments.
Got a free app.
Right.
Did you have chat or whatever AI create your phases for you and your workflow?
I haven't done that. I kind of looked at Lauren uses the 30,000 foot view.
Yeah.
And thought, okay, where are my bottlenecks? Where am I spending a lot of time? And I'm just starting there. And it's worked out really well. And I thought when she said that in October, she said, just ask the AI. You don't know what to do. Because I'm sitting there like, I had all the subscriptions she mentioned, had everything already paid for. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know how to start. And she said, ask AI. And that was a really big light bulb for me. And I went home, asked it, and I had an action plan. Hey, something wasn't working on my workflow. I took a screenshot of what I had set up and I sent it back and said, hey, where is this not adding up? And so it's cool. Just do 1 hour a week, even 2 hours a week. So AI was a big, huge deal. So with AI, we have an hour, right? So I don't know if everyone was there on Friday. There was, breakouts beforehand. So the biggest thing is so everyone was using Google, right? They're still using Google, but everyone's using AI to search for recommendations. So Gary also mentioned like the referral business, agent to agent. It's going to he suspects it'll decrease over time. So a lot of people are gonna go to AI first versus asking another agent. So your visibility when it comes to AI is like it's a super big thing. We would need to start focusing on that. Like, and there's actually, I can share the website, I have it written down. I don't have it with me today, but there was a marketing guru. She worked with Google for 35 years. She spearheaded this breakout session, and she came up with a website where you can do an AI audit for you and your business. And the biggest takeaway, and that's my number one takeaway, was the AI audit, seeing where I'm starting out, and what I need to do to improve my visibility when it comes to being found out with AI and being recommended as an expert. So a big thing about that, and what we can all do, is actually check out how we're showing up on our business pages. Like, do we have the same phone number? Simple stuff, same phone number, same email address. Do we have the same address? Are we easily findable in those basics, the basic senses, so that way when AI kind of puts the feelers out there on who's actually popping up, it can find us and we're consistent, so we're reliable. Reliability. The next biggest thing with AI and being visible are going to be your reviews on Google. So before Family Reunion, I was like sending the client Facebook, Zillow, Google, anything you could think of. We'd be happy to share your experience working with our team and how we did X, Y, and Z for you. They're saying Google, this should be the priority. Like minimum 1 review a month. You should have 1 review a month. And you also need to train your clients in a way to use keywords that you want AI to associate with you. So not just putting out a fluffy review, like you did a great job, great communication. Like, we want to know city, neighborhood, niche, even if you can get them down to the niche. So, and you want to prime them with the keywords that you want to show up as a part of your brand, whatever your brand is and your ideal client is. You want them to mention location, very specific items. So when you send the review ask, of course, you probably all have heard it, do it at a high point of the transaction, right?
Yeah.
That's probably 101. It's something I wasn't implementing. I was, tied up with the transaction, and I'm doing it at the end. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not happening after. Like, we need to do it at a high point, under contract. We got through inspection, something exciting, so that they're feeling like, okay, really, really excited. But my goal, taking away 1 review a month, that's what I need to do this year when it comes to reviews, and running the AI audit to let you know like where your weak points are, so that way you can get your messaging out. Everyone good? So we want to do an AI audit of you and your business. I could share the website with everybody. And that was from a Google executive, marketing executive. She worked with Google for 35 years. So I guarantee she knows what she's talking about. The next big takeaway. So this is number 2 out of 10. So this book, I haven't been to many family reunions, but they had Gary Keller bought 13,000 copies of this book and gave 1 away to everyone there. Building a Story Brand 2.0 by Donald Miller, and he was one of the speakers. So when I saw they had 13,000 copies of this, I thought, I better jump into this. Like, there's a reason they bought these. I read it once already, so I'm on my 2nd round. And I would recommend everyone read it. Maybe we could do a book club. Book club, you want to?
So
Sticky fingers might have grabbed 2 of them.
Did you? I thought about it. So
I was only thinking of I was thinking of the rest of you.
yeah, that's OP. So I read it once. I got through it on my flights on my way home. Come on. Donald Miller. So you're clarifying your message so customers will listen. when he said we need, in our messaging, we need to offer low cognitive. It has to be low on the cognitive side of things, like, and I was messaging like, oh, I want to be so descriptive, like sending it out there. And if you confuse them, if they even have to like wonder what you're talking about, we're losing them. So this gives you clarity on how to message to the leads or your clients. It's wonderful. I thought, a lot of us maybe don't know where to pivot when it comes to like our branding, right? I will say one of the big takeaways is so when you have so he was talking about Hollywood and movie storyline. So up here, I pretty much drew it out. These 7 aspects are in every successful Hollywood movie in the last 100 years. I don't even know how long you said, okay? So there's always a character, right? And if you think about this, it's true. So there's a character, they have a problem, okay? They come across a guide that is there to help them. And that's important. So you have, sometimes I feel like we want to be the hero, right? We're there to be the hero in our marketing, our messaging, but the client's the hero. We need to make our clients the hero of the story. So, and they are the hero. They're trying to get money for their kids. They want to retire. They have a goal in mind and they want to be that hero for their family, their lineage, all the things. They have a business that's growing. They need a new location for their retail space. Like they are the hero. We are the guide. And I would just give everyone that little bit of perspective, like coming from guiding them along, and he used different, he used The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings as an example. No one wants to be Frodo. He's the hero, and he mentioned the hero, they have weak areas, right? Like we don't want to be the hero. Gandalf was his guide, right? Gandalf was strength, wisdom, knew how to guide him along the way. Gandalf was sympathetic. We have sympathy, empathy for them, but we can let them know we see it in them. They can do it. And just getting to the point, he mentioned giving them an easy way to work with you. 3 steps, 3 simple steps. When you're reaching out to people, give them 3. It's easy to work with our team. Here are the 3 steps to make it happen. Boom, boom, boom. I implemented that Friday when I got back, 3 steps. I got 2 appointments by Saturday, booked right on my calendar, and it worked. So we need to read this. Called Building a Story Brand. And so the character has a problem. They need a guide who gives them a plan, calls them to action, right? Ends in success and helps them avoid a failure. So if you can talk about them avoiding pain, them avoiding failure, them getting the success they're looking for, right? Like those are important. Those are more important messaging than, and I've done it, like I'm the hero, but it's a good mental shift to have. Like we're not the hero. They're the hero. What they want to do, we're there to help them get there. So I can say it has worked. I had 2 appointments out of this, just the first 2 chapters of this book. 2 additional appointments. Hi, Greg.
Wow.
You want-
Sorry.
Do you want one of these sheets?
Yep. Sure do.
Okay, so we kind of already touched on. We already touched on number 3. So I had the AI audit was my number 1 takeaway. And now, Greg, you feel free to chime in because you were there, and Joe Jackson, please chime in. So we had AI audit. 2nd was build a story brand. 3rd, focus on Google reviews, 1 a month at the minimum. Text it to them. Don't email it, just send them a text. Hey, I know we sold that house in the circles. I hope it was, a great experience for you. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your experience with working with our team? Send the review link. Don't send them the long review link. You want to go to, there's plenty of places you can go, but I use bit.ly. You could take your long, ugly Google review link with all the numbers, put it into there, you can make it whatever you want it to say. So. I don't know what mine says, it's something simple, like review Andrew, something like that. Okay. And then my fourth biggest takeaway was, it's about customer experience, customer retention, okay? This was a commercial breakout, so I don't think everyone went to this. It was for hospitality, so I thought, wow, this is interesting, I'm gonna go do this. You know, hotels, short-term stays. So hospitality though ties in no matter what niche you're in, our hospitality equals customer experience equals customer retention. So what's the hospitality part of it? Like, what do they notice? The feeling, right? Our vibe, how much we care, how prompt we are, right? Those are all important. That's all basic, I feel. But it was important to like have that affirmation there. And then our teamwork, like how well our team's working together. So I know when Greg and I have a client and we put 35,000 into their property, got them a new roof, painted the exterior stucco, refinished the deck. You know, having the team behind that, like, hey, I'm there with the contractor. Hey, I'm scheduling it for this. You don't have to worry about it, you know? Those things matter. Okay, everyone good on Zoom? Okay, so my fifth takeaway, which I mentioned already, our messaging needs low cognitive overload. That was the full sentence there. Number 6 was one I got from Lauren Lucas. So if anyone's seen her social media post before she started doing her little breakout sessions, right? Where she, you know, she's gathering tickets and interested parties. She posted on Instagram, she invested $50,000 to save herself X amount of time a week so that you don't have to, right? So that messaging of we invested X to help Y do Z. I think that's powerful. So we invested $35,000 to help our client who inherited their familial home get $25,000 over list price. Simple, like something simple. Everyone in this room has a story that they can use. That's just one of mine. And think about posting that with a little video of you just talking about, you know, it can be simple. You know, it doesn't have to be this elaborate. We always get overwhelmed, like, what do we post? What do we post? Just simplified. I think that's super important. Greg, you have any takeaways?
One of the big things I took away was there was one slide and they said that 7% of sellers think that the real estate process is simple. Is that on your list? 7. That's straightforward.
7% of consumers feel our process is straightforward. Right. That's
So
like,
93% that don't would not.
it's not straightforward.
7%?
7% of consumers feel our process is straightforward. That was from the vision speech, right?
Right.
That was my biggest takeaway from that, because everything else is this, we've heard it.
Right.
Be there first, right? They're finding us online or reviews.
But we need to do a better job of educating on the front end so they understand the process. So that everything goes smoothly. That was a big-
low number.
And what does that mean? That we have a lot of opportunity to like impact that number. Like put a sheet in your presentation. Simple. I have one.
The statistics that keep coming back to us. That's the
Mhm.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, so.
Could you explain that 7%?
So 7% of people that have bought and sold,
Yeah.
either side,
Yeah,
they feel like, okay, this process was so, I understand it, I can follow it.
yeah,
Seems so straightforward. So that means 93% are like,
all right, out there.
we don't know what's coming next,
Yeah,
right? We
yeah,
don't know
they're
what to
lost.
expect.
They're lost.
I thought you were
Right?
saying that 7% think that this is so easy that they could. do
That's
it.
at first. I
No,
thought
no,
that was
no.
all there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
like,
that-
That's not a high number
I
for
think
that.
there's challenges with that number, like as I think about that, because we have these conversations pretty regularly. The challenge is it isn't straightforward, right? We don't always know what's coming, but I think the challenge in our opportunity is how are we communicating and the frequency. And I think that's probably the big opportunity. And how much we get out of the way upfront, in preparation for particularly the infection. And which is where things go hard with them. The appraisal and appraisal. So we, if we prepared better on the roadblocks. Preemptively, but that's still such a.
It was shocking.
I think it's also a good idea, because I heard this in a seminar, to actually use the word when you're talking to your client. This is what you can expect to happen next. So if you say that before each thing, then they get the idea.
Yeah, and I think multiple times, because I kind of like using the statistics. Like, I kind of like sharing that really statistically, only 7% of the people, so I just want you to feel okay that there is a lot to this. And no matter what how many times I'm telling, they're not catching, it's a lot. So I think that's a great opportunity for us to maybe collectively don't mastermind around how are we spoon feeding them information and getting it to them up front in the mass and then getting them for home.
That's true if they only understand that 50% of the thing, they'll think you're wonderful.
That's
They'll be like, wow.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
understand now.
Yeah, exactly.
And presenting it with low cognitive overload. Because we use a lot of vocab. They mentioned vocabulary too, like.
Like
and it
lingo,
confuses
like
them.
lingo?
Yeah, lingo, we
We don't
understand.
understand what like
Equity,
CMA,
like even equity, they brought up, they don't understand what equity is. They think, it's like, and I get questions like, what is equity? I have equity in my house. What does that mean? So just having the low cognitive overload so they understand, like,
yeah,
you know, your property's worth more
right.
today than it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And you could use that leverage, right, to do multiple things.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Gary Vee also talked about, it's no longer, it shouldn't have been called social media con. What did he say? Attention media con. Because really what we're doing now, it's not social media. It's not like we're connecting because we know each other. It's more of like, he said, day trading attention. Day trading attention. So you're day trade every day, you're fighting other realtors, other agents for attention from potential clients. So that's why he posts so many. But if you're on LinkedIn, right? Is everyone on LinkedIn? Everyone's on YouTube, right? X, aka Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Is it Hubstack, Greg? Hubstack, is that what he mentioned? Substack, that's the next, it's for, if you like to be descriptive in writing, it's more for, it's a writer's platform, but it's the new social platform, Substack. So, but like, to go into the social media, I took a breakout on social media. So when, I think this was one of the general sessions, so when you're posting on social, if you follow the PES framework, you'll do well. PES, it stands for personal, expertise, and sales. So you want a variety. We want to share personal information as much as you're comfortable with, right? It doesn't have to be like, here are my kids. But it can be, you know, this is what we're making for dinner this Friday. Whatever you're comfortable with, but we should have some more personal information out there. Because anything to connect with them. Because if I post, hey, I went to Ohio State, I don't ever share that. I should talk about that more. Because there's other Buckeyes out there, they're gonna be like, oh, this guy's posting about Ohio State. I want to, you know, then maybe they follow me because of that, and then they see in 2 days that I post something about real estate, and they're like, oh, he sells houses, and he's a Buckeye, right? So we have to be more personal. At the same time, we want to share our expertise and not like Joe was mentioning, you know, with our, you know, I do post like, you know, some. Oh, I did 5. You know, that one was more for me, like, okay, I did 5, okay, in 1 month, but. I understand like how it could come off as like braggadocious or whatever, but for me, that was like a big deal, so I wanted to share, it, right? You know, we have mega teams in here, they're doing like, they're like 5. But it does share, I leaned into, okay, sharing a story behind each one of those closings. I did that on my social media. So if you go to my Instagram, there's a carousel, which is a series of 10 photos, and it has, yes, I did 5 closings in January, but if you swipe, it starts telling you what I learned from each, something I appreciated about each, and the result I got from each. So you can share your expertise, right? In a way that is talking about the hero of the story, not you. How you solved the problem, helped them avoid something painful, got them results. And I'm leaning into expireds. That's like one of my niches. I'm doing really good so far with the expireds. So 3 of the 5 were from expireds. I have 3 more coming up, 5 more coming up because of the 2 I got over the weekend. So I'm gonna niche into expireds, just so everyone knows. But that's a good one for me because they have the motivation. They're literally standing there. They're like, we want to sell this place. We want to do this, and they couldn't do it. And just takes a fresh strategy sometimes, you know,
Did you call them? Did you call them
and reaching out.
and reaching out?
Mhm.
And how were they as far as their response when you initially started talking to them?
Of course, they're getting a lot, probably. I would try to lead with something I know. Okay, so this is another day probably, but I always audit before I call. I don't just call. Say, I'm great, you know, we have great brokerage. Like,
Right.
yeah, that's awesome. Everyone's gonna say that. But I audit the listing before I call them. So what does that mean? I try to find something that maybe was lacking, but I wouldn't use that word with them, but it's more of like what the agent maybe should have done. Something that stands out as really positive, and I use those as talking points to get leverage in the conversation. Like, if you look up 1931 West Broad Street, that was a record-breaking sale for the Hilltop, and we did it. We got 20,000 extra cash because the appraisal came in, you know, at a point, we got 20,000 over that. So the agent who had it before literally took a picture of the front of the house. Now, this house, you have to go up the staircase off of West Broad Street to get to the front door. And that's what he's using as the representation. But when you get to the property, you go behind and you pull in through gates and you see a different house when you get there. So yes, we want to do representations, actual representations, but my strategy was, why aren't we highlighting what we see when we show up? That should be the first thing that they see.
Right, of course.
They're not walking up 50 steps off of West Broad Street,
Right.
you know? You're going through the gates, it's a different experience. So you wanna, and I use that in my conversations with them. And they also had a huge, beautiful family room. It was like an addition they did, all wood, they had a fireplace, and the agent put it at picture 56 out of 98.
Oh, gosh.
Like, on my listing, you can go in there, I'm sure it was probably within the first 15. So, with that one, I mean, they were on the market like 4 days after 8 months of nothing.
Wow.
And, just asking them what went wrong, how was their experience? You know, they had a lien, an attorney general lien that needed to be, and this stays here. This is just for educational purposes, not like trying to overshare. But like sometimes if there's a lien, you have to know what to do. So I knew it was going to be 9 weeks. It's a long time. Like, it's not just, oh, a contractor we have to pay off. Like, the attorney general is slow. And I know that from experience. So up front, I said, hey, that may be one of the few sticking points that we have to pay attention to. Luckily, they had already gone through that with the previous agent. They just didn't know how to work around it. I said, you know, we can do a holdback at closing. There's ways to work around it. It's going to be more than the payoff, but still, if we need to close and we need to move forward, these are the options we have. So they felt in really good hands, right? customer experience. And they ended up buying a condo with me. So. So we have the PS framework. Are we still good on time? Yeah, we have 2 minutes. Okay, and then another. I'll have to send this to everyone if you want it, but it's a 17x3 matrix. So what it is for social media, you have 17 ideas, right? And then you write down all your ideas and you have a reel, a carousel, and a story. So that way, if you have one idea, you get 3 pieces of content out of it. And you have enough, that's 50 something, you have one for every week, if you want to just start out with that. 17x3 matrix.
What does that mean?
So Barbie, if you wanted to do like a social media plan for the whole year, right? You
Right.
come up with 17 ideas that you think, oh, this would touch my ideal client avatar or whoever I want to talk to. This is something I feel is like going to help them be successful, help them avoid pain, help
Yeah.
them hear me and talk and want to talk to me. Come up with 17 ideas. So 17. That's all you need. And then what you're gonna do is make a reel. You just start at the top, make a reel about that topic.
Right.
And then you can also make a carousel on Instagram. Have you seen those?
Yes.
Where it's like, you can swipe through on Instagram. It's like anywhere from 5 to 12, 15 slides. The carousels are gonna be, you want it to be something that they find extremely valuable and that they want to share. And valuable enough to share, because that's what's gonna build your presence on social media, is when they share the carousel. You want it to have labels and like, going over your topic, and then you can make a story about the same topic. So if you did your first idea, well, you have 3 pieces of content for that week or that month. If you want to start slow.
You said real carousel and
Story.
what's the 17 part of that?
So the 17 ideas,
Oh, okay.
like, you lived in your house for more than 20 years and you want to maximize your value, we'll pay for some improvements or whatever you want to, whatever your slide in it.
And that's per year, that's what they're saying.
Well, they're just saying like, if you want to you could do that as much as you want. Like I would do it way more, but it gives you a baseline. Like, okay, if you do the 17x3 matrix, it's almost 50. I can't see 51 there. So you got something for every week if you just want to do it and just inch in. You don't have to go crazy. Like we can't do every day. Maybe some people aren't posting every day. That's just the starting one. If you do that matrix, you have content for 51 weeks at minimum. But more than likely 17 weeks at minimum. You want to get each idea out every week, and you could even switch it up. You could do the same idea for that week, or you could do your first 3 ideas and post 3 reels, right? And you can just choose on that matrix what you want to post. It gives you a baseline. So if you want to I took 10x your listings, 10x your listings. It was a breakout. Did you go, Brian? That was a good one. I was like, I did 3 AI breakouts and I had to miss Lauren's to do the 10x your listings. So if you,
So let's share.
okay, you can. So if you want to be the optimal strategy for social media, and this is what they called, like, if you want to be on the creator track, right? So this is definitely, it's work, but Gary said we should be spending 51% of our week doing this. The other 51% should be generating business and or appointments.
49.
Yeah. Hey, but maybe we work 110. We got 110 in there, right? We got 110%. You got 120. Okay, so the creator track, minimum 5 reels a week. Three carousels a week. You got 7 stories a week, so that's 1 a day. That's really low in my opinion, but this is just creator track. 7 stories a week, and then 2 collabs per month. Okay, so my collaborations, there's a new coffee place in Delaware or Westerville. I'm gonna meet the owner and do a little interview and just post about it. And
You're gonna do an interview.
yeah, just doesn't have to be fancy, just like, hey, how'd you get into the coffee business? Like,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Okay,
just like to learn about their business
That's
and
really
then
fun. Yeah,
maybe bring a few of my friends from title companies and like, you know, your team, right?
right,
And have them buy a bunch of coffee.
yeah.
They'll remember you, right? And then tag them on social. I also have like a Foodies of Delaware Facebook group. So this guy was posting in my Facebook group. And I have to approve everything. So he was like, why aren't you approving this? And I'm like, oh, it's because actually I want to highlight you as a business on my page. When are you opening up for the spring? So
Okay,
what's the other collab I have? It'll come to me. So 2 collabs a month you should be doing at a minimum. And that could be, start with your like professional network. It doesn't have to be a coffee shop. I'm only doing that because it kind of came to me, you know? So use what comes to you, then also use your network. Like highlight your title company that you love
and why?
and why, yes, and what they do for your clients. Okay, so creator track, 5 reels a week, 3 carousels a week, 7 stories a week, 2 collaborations a month. That's like, so you can use the 17x3 matrix. This, a mixture of both, I think it would do well. And that's what 10x your listings is all about. Also with the 10x your listings, when you have a listing, and it's something I need to do better about, is marketing way before the listing. Not sending out postcard the day that it goes coming soon. You don't have to market the property, right? But you could still market the neighborhood. Right? Without sharing the address or. So we need to do that like 3 weeks before the listing, right? So that way when they get our coming soon, they're like, oh, familiar. We're familiar with this agent, you know? And
Can you market the neighborhood? What do you say? Just like
you can ask,
the sales or?
yeah, you could say you have, you know, clients that are, you could do clients are interested in your neighborhood. You could say I have an upcoming client that I'm helping to
Okay.
sell their home.
Right, great.
We were wondering, we want some feedback. What's your favorite part about living in this school district or living in this neighborhood? Do you know anyone that wants to move in? Please keep us in mind. Text me, open house, if you want to be the first to know of the open house. So I helped a client and it was a referral from an attorney. So I, you know, those are important. When the attorney refers you to somebody, they had 2 generations worth of belongings in the house. And the roadblock was, okay, what are we doing with all of this? I offered to market a garage sale for them. Took me some time. I'm not like, you know, I don't want to be known as the garage sale guy, but I got a lot of text messages. I did handwritten cards to 250 neighbors. Got a lot of people texting me for that inventory list. Not even talking about the house. We're having a garage sale. Would you like our inventory list? These are the dates. Please come by. I'm telling you, 70% of the traffic was because I sent out those cards. And she was so happy. I didn't even have to go. She was happy. She was like, Andrew, people are showing up. It's right on time. Right on time. And then everyone that texted me, inventory was a simple word I used. I could have used probably a little lower cognitive overload. I had at least 30 texts. And then when I had my listing video, guess who got the listing video? Every single person. Our first showing was an investor in the neighborhood from the video. So and you could go back to, it doesn't have to be a listing you just had that you sold. I mean, think about it and go back to like some of the ones you'd like to work in that neighborhood again and just keep marketing them. I need to do better about that, you know? It's your business. You go back 6 months, go back a year and do this. Do it. You probably have overflow buyers or, you know, from that area. Hey, I still have 7 buyers. You know, one thing I did, just use a first name.
Yeah,
They have this problem. They have cash. This person wants to be close to their family. and use like your leads to generate more. And if you can send them something that says, hey, is it worth us having a conversation because I have 7 and we can't say overflow buyers, they're gonna not know what that means.
Yes.
You know, like that, we understand overflow. I have 7 motivated clients that are interested in living in your neighborhood, right? Here's a little bit about them. Do you think it would be worth us having a conversation? Text me or scan here. Okay, are we still doing good on time? Yeah. Anyone got any questions on the chat? Okay, we're good. So then another thing, I know we have these already, but if you haven't had these playbooks yet, I would download them. They're on Connect, right? So the large language model AI playbook, it's like step 1. We all need to read these and not only read them, but implement them. Brian, OP times 2. He's got a few extra.
But look, I'm carrying theirs back. I said, give it to me.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
Oh, is that what
Extra copies of the book.
Story.
And the second,
It's like I'll download it. Or print it down, give it to me.
right. I should have been there because I've printed them off. So then the second playbook is the SEO, search engine optimization, GEO. Now, this is still a new term for me. Generative search optimization. So SEO is Google. Generative search optimization. Generative search optimization is AI, Gemini, ChatGPT. So the large language models, that's going to help us with prompting and training our clients to bring up certain keywords, right, that we want the ChatGPT to know about us. And that is going into my last. So number 9 was only 7% of consumers feel our process is straightforward. Greg brought that up and we are on the same wavelength with that. My last one was the AI SEO, GEO, teaching AI who I am, what I do, who I serve, where. So the large language model playbook will give you, a strategy on identifying the words you want to show up in your branding over and over. So like when you ask for the review, they already have seen, they're familiar with the words you want them to bring up in their review. I know I used the circles. The other one, was your experience selling your familial home in the Knolls. Like, we want them to put that in the review, not just, we did such a great job. We loved working with your team. Like, we want it to be specific. We help them get X amount of money more than they were thinking. So,
Was there any mention, let's just say you get this super generic Google review, it says your name, that you yourself 5-star. When you respond to that Google review, is it helpful to say, blah, blah, if they didn't mention those things, blah, 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 it was such a pleasure working with your family, it's like your, multi-generational home and wherever.
and I love that you brought that up because the first point of that is responding. And I'll admit, I haven't responded to any of mine until this weekend. I didn't respond to any of them, didn't even think about it, wasn't thinking clearly, apparently, So responding, yes. And then if you notice, I'm only going to respond to one every week. You don't want to do it all at once. You don't want to ask for all your reviews at once either, because Google will flag it as like spam or you bought the leads to review. You want to just send 5 a week. Send out the text message with your link to 5 people, and it doesn't have to be clients. I had one, Auction Ohio left me one because I showed up and helped them move things out of the house. They said, Andrew, we've been doing this so long, and there's never been an agent that showed up to help us haul away things. And I was like, oh, really?
That was Chris.
Aaron Woodrum. So he said, I've never had an agent show up and actually help us. And I was like, well, you're bringing a guy, you're paying him. I feel like I could be here, I'm not going to do as much as the other guy's name was Andrew. He was way more buff than I am. Like, I'm going to help as much as I can. We'll get done with it, Yes, Joe.
So going back to what Mary said, you got this general review,
Mhm.
and so you would reply, which I always reply, but my replies are too generic, so. Andrew, it was great helping you and your family sell that multi-generational home in Clintonville. You start putting the location of things in, I would think that would give you some Google juice,
Yes.
and,
Actually, will you go to my Google profile?
to reply. In a more
Using the
specific
city-
Way, thank you for your kind reply.
Mhm.
Sucks.
And this
You
is,
gotta reply.
the first test is just seeing if you come up on Google, right? You can just type Andrew Naturiano, it should come right up. Yep, look, first thing, Andrew Naturiano Realtor, Andrew Naturiano, so the Google. So 11's not bad, right? Yeah, please, and then go to the oldest one that's on there, because I replied to that one, it's just the other day. Great, 555, but there's no responses. Okay, here. Maybe it wasn't the oldest one, because that was Nicholas. There's some bias there. So this one. It was our pleasure offering our real estate expertise to your family in Cleveland, Ohio. You came to us not being sure of the value of your home, and we were excited to provide you with professional insight and clarity. Our plan included recommendations on how you can maximize your home's value, and your review means the world to us. Please, plus, we love working with exceptional people just like you. So part of my brand that I'm building is connecting, empathizing. So this, they haven't listed yet. They still left me a review. They're ready to go. I gave them all the information, but they will, they're listing with me. And I found out I was top 20% in the Cleveland MLS and the Columbus MLS. So I figured I might as well start putting it out there, And before I was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't reply because it's not in Columbus, but it's okay. Like if your business is, whatever your business is, like, let them know. Do a little shout out, And that was before I went into the large language model. So I'm sure I could have made it more succinct and it takes time. You implement it over time, right? But yes, bringing up the area, what you did specifically, how it helped them, save them time, money, help them be successful. Now they know what their house would be worth and what they could do to bring it up. So
you're saying that if in fact their response is generic, then you can respond back more detailed about the experience.
and I want ChatGPT, Chat's gonna see this, Gemini's gonna see this and start associating me with the city, with what we did for them. We haven't closed them, but they will close. So I know we have no time left, but on the 10-5-1-1, so 10 takeaways, 5 things to implement. And I'll just go through. So I did the story brand novel. I want to implement the story brand novel. I want to do AI audit and action steps to improve my GEO. Minimum 1 review on Google per month. Strategic organic content, which was from Gary Vee with the PES framework. And I want to complete phase 1 of my AI workflows and expand to my phase 2 workflows. Now, the 1-in-1 of this, which everyone can do, what's one thing that when you implement, it will make the biggest impact on your business? The biggest thing. So mine was story brand sound bites about my business with AI. And then the next thing, in the next 24 hours, the action step I commit to taking is, so there's something you could do by tomorrow from what we've even talked about right now. There's something you can do by tomorrow. And mine was texting with my Google review link to 5 people. So I did this, I stayed a day late. I did this on Friday. So I implemented both of these by Saturday. I had 2 appointments and a review out of it. So now that I've done that, you can push them down, and start bringing things over. And this is reusable. So I love this. My coach, my MAPS coach. I'm actually ahead for my coaching call on Thursday because this is due Thursday. To go over with my coach. So it's good practice for me. And I appreciate everyone for showing up and
You're amazing.
it means
You are
that you
really
you
amazing.
care about the business.
You're amazing.
I think a lot of you probably know, but Lauren taught in the fall, and she's also teaching again this week. I know you're going. Yes, or somebody's going.
I'll be there. I'm going again.
Okay, so it's this Thursday, from 10 to 2. A couple people said, well, I saw it in the fall. Her presentation changes daily.
I would
So
go
it's not gonna be the same presentation.
on Eventbrite.
And there is still space on Eventbrite, yes.
And I went at the end of October.
There's like 10 or
I'm
12
going.
tickets left as of this morning. Lunch is included. It's at Brookside Country Club, so it's super easy. I'm taking my son. So.
Yeah.
Bringing guests. There's another agent that you're doing business with. If you like to respect, get them a ticket and get them there.
Yeah, I'm going again because there's gonna be, it keeps me accountable too. Like 1 hour a day, what I implemented, you know. Everyone can do it. We just gotta start, you know, just think about how can it help save you time? Like, so when I'm done with my workflows, I won't have to check on who's opening my messages, who's reading it. I'm gonna have the AI be able to do that and then push them, escalate them to like, call this person today. And one more thing, when you're reaching out, does everyone have like an appointment setting calendar, like where there's a link? And they could go right to your calendar and book an appointment. Without having to call you and say, hey, does this time and day work? I would, because I started doing that in November and I like the 2 appointments I got, they booked it on my calendar. All I had to do is like, oh, this is their phone number. I'll call them, you know, so it helps us because we don't have time to connect and then manage the schedules, give them a platform to just, when they have time, they could find a day and time within your availability. I have it set from 12:45 to 5:45 because I don't want to do a 9 a.m. appointment. I'm generating leads at that time. Afternoon is best for me. If they needed an accommodation, we can, you know, talk about it, but Calendly. That's what I use.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk more? I could keep going. Everyone's good on Zoom.
Yeah, and you can.
We can keep going. Barbie, what are you gonna, what's your take, what is your, what are you implementing by tomorrow?
Let's see. Okay, well, the fact is, the AI that I should be doing either 1 hour a day or 1 hour 2 times a week, right? That.
That's what you're doing? Okay, put it on that 24-hour block. I see it's empty. I want you
It's
to write
empty.
it in.
Okay,
Write it
okay,
in.
okay.
And you can, this, I wanted to bring this because I wanted everyone to have something, you know, you could walk away with and say, hey, I can do this tomorrow. And there's something else I can do by the end of the month that's gonna implement, that's gonna have the biggest impact on my business. And I read the book once. I took the first 2 chapters, implemented it into my lead generation, and I got 2 appointments. I'm not lying, it works. We have to just do it.
Just do it.
How far back do you think you can go on a Google review and reply and not go?
I mean, that one was from a year ago.
I'm talking like.
That's okay. I would do it.
Really?
Yeah, I would do it. Maybe do one. Yeah, I would do one maybe just from last year and then go back to the old one. And like wait a few days.
I don't
Just
respond.
blame
I
it
have a
on
lot.
technology, just say, I don't know what happened to my response to this. That's how I'm reloading it
It's
now.
never too late.
Yeah, it's never
Thank
too
you.
late.
You're right.
Never too
And then
late.
if you look into the large language models, you can figure out, okay, what do I want AI to know about me and my business and how I help people, and then use those keywords in your response.
And that's in that book or that's in the playbook?
So the playbook will have, these are on Connect.
Large language models is
Yep.
in the playbook. Okay.
On Connect, you can download it.
That's
And
what I'm
then
gonna do in the next 24 hours.
the SEO and GEO is the second playbook. This building a story brand by Donald Miller. So that flow chart, he talked about that a lot. Yep,
Okay. I want to see if I can get on all.
really good.
I don't read the book, but I listen to.
Very, very good. So what I implemented from the book was the 3 steps.
Yeah.
And are
Working
these,
with us is easy and happens in the next 3 steps.
so
Boom, boom, boom.
is
Here's
this
my
on
link.
audio? You know?
I'm sure, yeah, you could find it there. He's a rock star. He was awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
And having that, setting up a super signature, I don't know if everyone's heard of that, super signature on Gmail, your email super signature, so not just your name and brokerage, like, do you have like a picture?
Wow.
Do you have
Like your business
your
card.
booking link? Like I put my booking link in there, so it's easy and the link shows up multiple times in the email, like at the beginning and in the signature. Now, and if you have awards, Rookie of the Year, you should
Who
have
would
that.
be?
You should have that in your,
You should.
have that in your signature. And it's if you've been featured in any articles or websites, put that on there. Do you have any of your sales awards? Put that on there. You all have more sales awards than I do.
well, honey, you're gonna have it momentarily, okay? The
That's all right.
25 million.
Blow right by all of us. Yeah.
No, we're gonna tackle it together. But I saw something, I don't know if everyone else got the email, that the average unit in our region is 8.4. Average units.
So in years it's 80.
That's my goal for this year.
Oh, you're
88.
kidding.
88.
88.
Your goal is 88?
I got 9 so far, so I'm a little behind, but that's okay. You can set a big goal. It's okay.
No social life.
With AI, I'm gonna have more of a social life.
Okay.
So seriously, because I don't have to use much,
But
but
9 in 2 months, that's not bad if you're
it's not bad.
averaging like 5 a month, that's what.
60.
Mhm.
So I have to just ramp it up and we're in the
It's a
winter
little bit though,
season.
not you're far behind.
With implementing this, I believe I'm gonna be hitting it, and I implemented a TC, so that was another thing. My coach was like, Andrew, what are you spending all this time for? You would take this amount of hours. How many conversations does it take you to get a lead? Okay, you would have surpassed your 52. I had 52 as my goal last year,
And you got it.
33.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's okay.
So. Part of what we're supposed to do is to pour into each other. And say, well, Matt's client. Get a free. What's not free, I think, a family, even in maybe they don't go every week.
Yeah.
They should go to the team leader who would benefit. Was Andrew went, mega camp, family reunion,
Last
2
year,
years, last
2
year,
years.
he took off.
And I appreciated that a lot. When Joe offered that, I was like,
So if you see an agent that's struggling. Maybe say, hey, I got an extra ticket to Lauren
Yeah.
Lucas's,
Right.
but pour into, because it'll come back to the market center. And hopefully for you, it'll come back, because somebody poured into us,
mhm,
we started,
Uh-huh.
I was so clueless, I was like. 24, long hair, scraggly goatee.
19% interest rates.
It was 8.5 when I started and went to 14 within
Okay.
6 months.
Wow.
Came back to 11.5. then went to
14, that was the
19.
number. 19.
That is on all.
But you're right, and I appreciate
It
you
is
for,
unaudible. Okay.
I wasn't gonna use it, so I'll check with the team leaders. I'm probably not gonna go to make
I'll be there.
August
It's already
San
blocked out
Antonio.
on my calendar.
hot.
Hot in Austin. as well.
It's in San Antonio, Austin Convention Center's being reconstructed, so it's. in San
Oh,
Antonio.
okay,
That went last year.
okay. So this is, anytime.
I gotta see if my business partner doesn't want, he pays for it too. We're gonna give it to a rising star who will go and absorb.
I'm hooked now. Going to every single one.
You are.
He's risen.
He's risen.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Let me know how it's going.